Thanks for talking to us. Just sum up how you feel.
Obviously, bitterly disappointed. Obviously, to lose a football match at home again. I don't need to speak out the stat. So yeah, disappointed. But I thought, obviously the goals that we conceded are really poor goals. Things we spoke about during the week, really poor goals to concede. In terms of what we look like, I thought we looked much better. A lot more energy. Combinations that we were working on, looking to hurt them in behind, down the sides. Very even game, and then there's obviously a flashpoint in the first half, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm quite kind to referees in terms of what they say, but that is ridiculous. I won't hear anything back off him. And I know James. I speak to him, but he should be sent off. There's no ifs and no buts, and they aren't bothered. The Wrexham aren't bothered. The referees aren't bothered. Like I say, when I got sent off, they fully messed up the charge I got done with, and it doesn't matter. No one, you just still get suspended. I was told it wasn't over aggressive. When you start putting fingers in mouths and headbutting people, or putting your head towards people, they should be sent off. I got told it wasn't overly aggressive, which is absolute nonsense. Because we'll take the defeat in terms of what it looked like at half time, but the game should have been 1-0 down, then down to 10 men, and then straight from that, with what's gone on, we've obviously then conceded, which makes it a real difficult task against a really good team.
Yeah, unfortunately we're talking about the man in the middle again being the focal point, because you lost a player early in the second half as well that didn't seem as though it was anything like a straight red for what he did.
Absolutely, he couldn't get it out quick enough. He was getting some stick from their players. He was constantly talking to their players, which I spoke to the fourth official about. He said it's all right to do so. Every time we wanted to speak to him, you just wafted your hand away, get away. Like I say, they're protected by cards, aren't they? Ryan's gone to go in for the ball. He's got a nudge in his reflexes or whatever it means, his hand's gone up. If he can't spot that, then we are in severe trouble. I'm not trying to deflect away from the 2 goals we've conceded in that first half, but the players deserve better than that, because I thought the start of the game they applied themselves. We looked much better against a really good team.
It spoiled a big occasion. Great atmosphere.
They always do.
Everybody was enjoying it, and all of a sudden the game's flat for at least 35-40 minutes nearly.
Always do. Salford away, Barrow at home. This one, always do, Graham.
How do you try and help get that changed? How can you do anything?
About the referees?
Yeah.
Try and not get wound up. I've always said to myself I won't, but it's so hard because you've got a bunch of young lads in there who are going through obviously with a difficult spell at home, and I'm not saying we would have won the game, but if he'd have done the things right, then it gives us an opportunity. Joel Taberner, for instance, gets fouled in the first half. It's not the one prior to it, it's not a foul. Joel gets pinched on. One closer to the edge of the box, it's a foul. He doesn't give it, and then we do one. It's like, it's easy when it's 2-0, 3-0, man sent off, just gives a foul. The consistency's miles off.
As the game unfolded and the result was going away from you, I suppose you had one eye on what you're going to do this week in training and for next Saturday. Is that how you use your substitutes?
Yeah, but also in the game, I thought the players deserved more than look, they've won the game comfortably, but if it had turned into 4 or 5, I didn't think the players fully deserve. They don't deserve that at all. They just don't deserve it. So yeah, there was a little mind on that, and getting. We wanted to get all the players on the pitch as well as the game's going on. That was always the plan, but not to be today. And we regroup next week. Tabs has got more minutes under his belt. Good to see Shiloh, Longy on the bench. They'll have a good week of work behind them, and we've got to take some confidence moving into next week. We've got to build that confidence throughout training, because I thought the boys were excellent Thursday, Friday leading into this game, and I thought they then emulated that for large parts in the first half.
What's the possibility of any other injured players joining the squad for next week?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I think Courtney and Connor are probably the next ones who are closest, but that's going to be some ask.
Going to be a cup final type of game.
It is, yeah, and I've just said to players I've never not met anything head on, and we'll do exactly the same. The players will do that, and we'll meet it head on. We do not want any regrets. Come off that pitch next week, I should have done this, I could have done that. You come off with no regrets, absolutely zero regrets, and we'll meet this head on.
Just going back to one final point on Ryan Cooney, would you be looking at possibility of
You
appealing?
you can't appeal it because they'll just say he's handballed it and got it right. Because basically you've got to say that it should have been a foul, like VAR. So you can't say poor lad's going to be missing a game of football. It's just ridiculous.